نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص.
Now here again, as with the case of Nabi Adam, we find Qabil is born to the best of man and women, and yet there is corruption in his soul and he becomes of those who are condemned eternally. Similarly here, Nabi Nuh's son is condemned eternally. Equally, Nabi Nuh's wife. We are told in the Quran that Allah gives an example for people who disbelieve. The wife of Nuh and the wife of Lut. They were beneath, or they were with our two righteous servants, but they became disloyal and nothing could save them from Allah. What this means is that there is no guarantee that the lineage will save anybody. It's an individual journey to God in exploring the truth that is within ourselves and becoming righteous. The son of the Prophet may be condemned, and the wife of Pharaoh may be so loftily celebrated in the Quran as maybe Asiya is, Lady Asiya, where Quran praises her alongside Lady Mary. So it seems at the end of the day, every individual is individually responsible for their own fate. And indeed, the Quran says, you will all come to us individually as we have created you individually. And as the Quran says, no soul shall avail another one, and there will be no intercession save by the decree of God. But that intercession will only be for those souls who are righteous, yet polluted and deficient, not for souls who have been condemned through their own actions. And this appears to be the case with the son of Nabi Nuh and the wife of Nabi Nuh. Nabi Nuh, after the ark takes off upon the waters, says to Allah, O Lord, indeed my son is from my family, and you have promised to safeguard my family. Allah responds, He says, your son is not from your family, he is not of righteous deeds. Do not ask me concerning him, lest you be of those who are ignorant. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not see lineage to be a marker for family. He sees righteousness of attitude and purity of soul as the means of joining people together as one human family. Even if there is proximity by blood and by the DNA and by the genes, if there is no proximity through God's centricity and moral righteousness and spiritual refinement, Allah discards it. So the bodily connection do not mean anything to God. It is the connection of the soul and spirituality that truly binds people together. And hence the Prophet of Allah said, Salman minna Ahlul Bayt. Salman is from us, the Ahlul Bayt. Salman has no blood connection with the Prophet or his family. Similarly, the uncle of the Prophet, Abu Lahab, is condemned to the pit of hell, yet he is, or despite the fact that he is the uncle of the Prophet. Now the ship in the Old Testament is described with certain specifications. And according to certain sort of findings, the ship is somewhere upon certain mountains in Turkey and it's being discovered. And according to the measurements given in Old Testament, they have found that this wreckage of a ship that is found in Turkey measures up with those dimensions. And it's quite possible that that is the ship of Nabi Nuh, and there's a documentary out on it. It's a very, very intriguing and interesting documentary, but it's been broken in two. Now, Nabi Nuh, according to the old scriptures, is told to take the grave of Nabi Adam with him aboard the ship. I used to always wonder, how can the grave of Nabi Nuh and the grave of Nabi Adam be side by side in Najaf alongside the grave of Amirul Mu'mineen Salamullah alayh, until we read this from the previous scriptures, that Nabi Nuh actually took the grave of Adam with him. So that makes it quite possible that Adam is buried alongside Nabi Nuh, that Nabi Nuh buried Adam and then obviously instructed his children to bury him near Adam. And we find this riwayah that Ali ibn Abi Talib Salamullah alayh bequeaths to Al-Hasanain, that when I die, take me to a certain spot, or my coffin will be, or my janazah will be led to a certain spot. There you will uncover the spot that has been prepared for me by the Prophet Nuh, and you will see that the grave of Nabi Nuh is there. So it seems very much plausible and sounds very much accurate, and not only based on faith but on certain now evidence. Nabi Nuh sails with his people. They do not burn fire aboard the ship, and they eat raw vegetables as they make their journey upon the waves. The Quran describes this journey as a momentous journey, that it is like a mountain floating on momentous waves. In any case, God's command comes to pass. Allah instructs the oceans to subside, the water to be swollen up by the earth, and for the heavens to reduce the pouring of rain. وَاسْتَوَتْ عَلَى الْجُودِ, and the ark rests on Judi. Nabi Nuh has a few of his children with him. When the ark rests on Judi and finally the water dries up, they disembark and come upon land. And then they fast on that day as a means of thanksgiving to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nabi Nuh makes his wasiyah to his children. And of course, he has the scrolls written by Nabi Sheeth that they used to open once a year, and that reminded them of their origin, the descent of Adam, of the return to Allah and the monotheistic message. So he says to them and admonishes them that these scrolls are to be opened once a year, and they are to read those scrolls. Nabi Nuh's son inherits the Nabuwah from his father, and humanity in that region begins afresh.